My name is Katie Mogenberg, and I was diagnosed with heart disease at the age of 37.
My name is Christina Saldivar, and on February 24th, 2020, I suffered from a stroke.
My name is Daniela Seifert. Suffered a heart attack in 2011. I was 37 years old.
My name is Michelle Simmons, and I am a survivor of postpartum preeclampsia and acute heart failure.
Hi, I'm Charlene Grabowski. I'm a survivor of a widowmaker heart attack. It was a Saturday morning. It was quiet at the hospital. I told them I was having a heart attack. The security guard took me in. They put me on a table. There was attending and nurses. Hooked me up to the EKG, and I said to the doctor, am I having a heart attack? And he said, yes, and there's going to be a lot of people in this room in a few moments. At which point in time, my partner put her hand on my shoulder, and it felt like people say an elephant on your chest. Not that I exactly know what an elephant on your chest feels like, but it was the most intense pressure I have ever felt in my life. And 20 minutes later, I was in the cardiac cath lab with a stent put in my coronary artery.
I got up like a normal day. I went to school. I teach. I had a headache after my second class. I went to the restroom, and then all of a sudden it got worse. It's like my whole head was pounding, and I didn't know what was going on. And so I called PE coach on at the time on my Apple Watch. The last thing I remember was being in the emergency room.
I was on the treadmill exercising. My husband told me to hurry up because he had to get to work. It was the busiest month of the year for him. And I got off the treadmill and went in the house, and I said, I don't feel good. And he looked at me and said, like, 911, you don't feel good? I'm like, I think so. And he called 911 and went upstairs. The paramedics came. I was on the ground, and I felt like heavy pressure on my chest. Both my arms were numb. And they asked me to go to the ER to make sure it wasn't heart-related. And I was like, okay. So I went in the ambulance. My friend came to watch my kids, and I was like, bye, see you in a little bit, like laughing, thinking it was nothing serious. And they sent me home. And I really wanted to leave because I had a hair appointment. I didn't make the hair appointment. I didn't take my own health seriously, so I guess they didn't either. I was having like some twitching in my chest, like a tightness. And so we went to my primary care doctor, and he's like, you have like 90 seconds to get to the ER. The cardiologist said, I just want to look at your heart. I'm just going to bring you into the cath lab. And I was rolled from the ER into the cath lab, and then from the cath lab into the OR, where I'd spend 4 days in a medicinal coma. I had 2 little kids. And I woke up, and I had all these wires attached to me out of the blue. I couldn't believe what just happened. Like, I was just okay 4 days ago. Like, I don't even know what day it is.
I woke up in the morning to homeschool my son, and I felt like a lot of chest pain, felt like I had an elephant sitting on my chest, shortness of breath. Decided that I should call my cardiologist. I went in to see cardiology. He listened to my heart and told me I needed to do a treadmill test, and I told him I was not prepared to do that. I didn't have on the right shoes that day, and he said, no, you need to do a treadmill test now. So I did the treadmill test, and within 3 minutes he discovered that I had a blockage in my main artery and said I needed to get straight over to the hospital. So I was taken over to the emergency department, and he was able to take me to the cath lab where they attempted to do a stent, and it was unsuccessful because my LED was already too occluded. So I then wound up in emergency open heart surgery.
About a week after I delivered, I got out of the shower and just felt dizzy and kind of blurry vision and really couldn't breathe that well. So I told my mom, something doesn't feel right. And she said, well, you just had a baby, so you're probably tired, you should lay down. And my instinct said not to lay down, that something else was wrong. So I checked my blood pressure, and it was 220 over 140. And so I called my doctor immediately, and he said, get to the urgent care, not even urgent care, emergency room right now. And so they immediately got me onto some IV meds to stop me from having a stroke or a seizure.
I really thought I was invincible. I just never thought in a million years that it would happen to me. So really for my children, I felt really guilty as their mom that I had felt so invincible that I thought I would be around forever, and then here I was facing this moment where I wasn't sure I was going to be around to be with my kids anymore.
I'm so thankful that I'm still here. God definitely blessed my healing.
I questioned a lot of things for years. Recovering was hard because my kids were 4 and 3 and I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do with them. I feel like I missed out on certain things with my kids.
There is this, I would say, emotional, mental aspect of it that I think is compounded with the physical. So it is this doom and gloom like that I feel on a daily basis of like something's gonna happen. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, I waited a really long time, and it took a really long time for my husband and I to have a baby. And so it's like, why would, I have this baby and then potentially be not here to take care of her?
We're so bad at advocating, right? We take care of our families, we take care of our friends, we join nonprofits and we give all of our time. When the bottom line is, you cannot do any of that work if you don't take care of yourself.
Cardiovascular disease and stroke.
Do not discriminate.
And they attack at all ages and stages.
And seasons of life.
But we're all here because we are survivors.
I want to live for my 2 children and my husband first, and I want to live because I have a message to share with the world.
I want to live because I have so much more to give back. And I've been given 2 chances at life, and there's a higher power that's saying, stay there and do good work for other people.
I want to live for my family.
I want to live for Ava and to be a mom.
I want to live for my children and to see them grow up and have grandchildren.